What's up guys, the Lazy Goldmaker back with another classic video. Today we're going to talk about the strongest profession in all of classic, pretty much, engineering. I mean, everyone knows that it's the most useful profession to have on your main. What not everyone knows is that it's also a great gold-making profession, which might be surprising to some of you because you'll be looking at something like the Goblin Sapper Charge. But lazy! This requires engineering 205, so everyone who wants to buy this already has engineering and can potentially craft it for themselves. So why the hell would they buy them for an expensive price from you? Well, they do. Partially, well, I mean, you know my name, the Lazy Goldmaker. Most other players are also lazy. Crafting a Sapper Charge, you have to craft unstable triggers. You have to craft solid blasting powder. It takes a long time. There's three or four required intermediate crafts. This is a slow item to craft. And also, they might not want to bother. They just want to grab their stuff on the auction house and get into raid because they're late or whatever. It doesn't really matter. There's tons of different reasons why people will prefer to just grab something off the auction house. And they do, very consistently. I sold a ton of Sapper Charges in Original Classic. I'm sure I would be able to sell a ton of Sapper Charges in the new Anniversary realms. My highest character level is level 9, so not really on the cards for me at the moment. You can get these, I think you need to be level 35 to get access to crafting the Sapper Charges, but they're amazing. So that's the basics. Like, even though only other engineers can use the items, pretty much everyone who cares about performance in WoW Classic is an engineer already, so you have a huge market. And they're very annoying to craft in general, engineering items, so a lot of people will prefer to just buy stuff off the auction house. Now, you do have a specialization choice to make as an engineer. You can choose between Goblin and Gnome. If you're talking gold making, Goblin wins absolutely hands down, zero questions asked. It is. And that's just because of the Sapper Charges. This is the strongest DPS consumable from engineering. It's extremely good. There are some other recipes, like I sold a lot of rocket helmets, rocket boots back in the day, but Gnomish doesn't have anything on this level. You can also do the Goblin Fuel recipe, which is also profitable. But the Sapper Charge is the bread and butter here. You can sell this in so much volume once people get to 60 and start raiding. So this is the one to go for. If you have two characters and you're planning to have engineer on multiples, or if you're someone like me who has two World of Warcraft accounts, then going Goblin on your second account and Gnomish on your main is quite nice, because then you get the Gnomish engineer trinket to teleport to Gadgetsan for Ankiraj. I actually swapped back in Classic to Gnomish and leveled Goblin Engineering on an alt, so I could keep crafting the Sappers. But that's sort of a niche point. The main thing, Goblin is best for gold, no questions. So now we're going to talk a little bit about some of the better recipes from engineering. We're not going to talk about like absolutely all of them, but we're going to talk about some of the better ones and where you get the recipes. So we'll start by going just to my engineering group, because I already have one from Classic. And we're going to look at consumables first. This is sort of the main one. Goblin Sapper Charges, this is the biggest item of them all. You get the recipe from the Goblin Engineer Trainers, which is going to be, there's one in Barons and there's one, I think, in Gadgetsan or in Tanaris. You need Goblin Engineering to learn them. Then you have the Thorium Grenade. This is sort of a PvP damage thing. Now, people sometimes don't go for this because it's a little bit more expensive than the Iron Grenade, which sort of has the same effect, just less damage. The Thorium Grenade is also slightly better for some PvE, some PvE scenarios. The Thorium Grenade recipe is a vendor recipe, so you buy it from engineering supply vendors. And the Iron Grenade, you learn that from the trainers, so that's pretty easy. Then you have the Repair Bot. This is very useful for raids eventually. These sell, not super fast, but they're quite good. To get the recipe, you need to go to the Black Rock Depths, to just before Golem Lord Argelmach. You can find a scroll on the floor and pick this up, and then you get the recipe. That also means there's a little bit less competition usually on these. Then you have ammo. thorium shells and thorium-headed arrows. You craft the shells and you can trade them in for arrows at the vendor in Ironforge, or I'm not sure which Horde city, might be in all of them. This was very profitable. This is the best hunter ammo for the game, both versions. Usually very, very cheap to craft. The recipe is a world drop recipe, so I honestly have no idea how expensive it is, but this is a pretty good recipe. It's just 15 gold. Yeah, I would go for this. This is quite good. You need 2 thorium bars and 1 dense blasting powder, and that's going to give you a full stack of 200 shells. So this one was, I think I was doubling or tripling my gold throughout all of Classic with that one. Then you have the thorium widget. This is a vendor material, or not a vendor, intermediate material. And I mean, it's used in some other recipes, but it's also used as a turn-in for the Darkmood Fair, which means that you can sell this potentially on your own, but be aware it has a high vendor sell price at 25 silver, so right now I wouldn't bother selling it. The same thing, you can maybe do the unstable trigger, which is used in some other consumables. This is also something you can sell on your own. And then you have all of this gear. You have the scopes as well. Sniper scope is quite good, and you have a huge amount of equipable gear from the engineering specializations. Gnomish mind control cap, rocket boots, rocket helm. They don't require you to have that specific specialization to use. So that does mean that you have some nice ability to sell these for a profit. You generally learn these recipes from the relevant specialization trainers, and they're all, a lot of them can sell decently well. They're not like super fast sellers, but I crafted particularly the rocket helmet, sold that quite a bit throughout Classic. Now there are more items that I haven't covered in detail. You have the scopes, you have other intermediate materials you can do, and there's also a lot more trinkets and utility gear that you can craft and potentially sell for a profit. But this is sort of what I ended up selling the most of in Classic, so everything that is in this group, which you can grab in the video description. This will help you get everything out onto the auction house. I do not have crafting operations for the most part. You'll have to figure out for yourself how many you want to craft. It does have just the operations for posting to the auction house. Personally, I think you should start in this little group. These items sell really, really well, and particularly the sapper charges and the grenades. And then you can look into some of the other utility gear, ammunition, repair bot if you can get the recipe, and the scopes if you can get the recipes for those, and then the world is your oyster. Don't underestimate this profession. It's great for gold making.